Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching the special edition of the Newshour. My name is Pranesh Kumar Roy. Thanks for joining us, viewers. A massive fire in a Mumbai high-rise claimed as many as 6 lives and has left over 20 people grievously injured. Recalling the fire outbreak in a building in Tardeo area, the residents said they heard a loud sound followed by a black smoke, and also narrated the frenzy that followed after the fire broke out. Authorities said an electrical short circuit was likely behind the deadly blaze, but residents of the building said they did not hear the fire alarm of the building go off after the fire. The opposition has pinned the blame on BMC for compromising fire safety norms. This has once again triggered safety debate. Did the builder and BMC follow fire safety norms? Who's behind this negligence that killed 6 people? That's the debate. But first, this report.
A rude awakening in the upper floors of a high-rise in central Mumbai. Around 7:30 in the morning, fire department was alerted after smoke and fire in the Kamla building in the Tardeo area.
I'm standing outside Kamla building, a residential high-rise in Tardeo, where fire broke out early this morning. Unfortunately though, at least about half a dozen people have lost their lives and more than 15 injured. Close to 30 people were rushed to the hospital and a few have been discharged. Fire broke out on the 19th floor of this building, of this 20-storied structure.
People living in the area say the fire department was quick to arrive. But the problem for firefighters was compounding when they found that the fire safety equipment in the building wasn't working.
यहाँ पर आते ही देखा उन्होंने कि 19 फ्लोर पर अंगार है, तो L3 मैसेज दिया गया और यहाँ पर 13 फायर इंजन, टैंकर्स, स्पेशल अप्लायंसेस टर्न आउट किए गए। आने के बाद पता चला कि 1904 कंप्लीट है, वहाँ पर फायर थी। तुरंत बिल्डिंग की सिस्टम जो है बंद पाई गई, फायर फाइटिंग सिस्टम। इसकी वजह से यहाँ सर फायर इंजन से लाइन लेके अंगार अभी पूरी तरह से बुझाई गई है।
Fire mechanism were not in place in the building. They were not working when they entered the building, which is why it took a little while for them to douse the fire, which is why the fire operation went on for almost an hour, because the fire systems were not in place. So this is a serious negligence. What led to this is something that needs to be ascertained. Is it because there were no fire audit conducted? Is it because of the negligence by the building authorities?
At one stage, the fire was threatening to spread and looked ominous. Many elderly residents were left with a weary look after the early morning fire emergency in their building.
हम लोग इतने डर गए थे कि आग लगी, उसके बाद में हम लोग सब नीचे आ गए। हम लोग भी वही बिल्डिंग में रहते।
एक्चुअली लाइट गई पूरा बिल्डिंग का, तो बाद में हम लोग के मतलब डैडी वगैरह बोले कि आग लगे, तो हम लोग सब नीचे उतरे। लिफ्ट वगैरह बंद थी।
मैं बैक साइड पे रहता हूँ, पर वहाँ से पब्लिक चिल्ला रही थी बचाओ करके, तो आया तो मैं बोला शायद इधर किसको पता नहीं रहेगा, तो आया तो फिर इधर देखा तो बोला सब उतर रहे थे। तो ये दोस्त लोग है, मेरे फ्रेंड लोग है बचपन के, पर इन लोग के साथ में थोड़ा बहुत हेल्प करने ऊपर में भी चला गया।
आप यहाँ नंगे पाँव आए, आप क्या पैनिक सिचुएशन से निकल के आए थे, अगर हम समझ सके?
मतलब घर में सीनियर सिटीजन थे तो सबको पहले नीचे लेके आए, तो कुछ इतना यही नहीं था कि मोबाइल लिया, प्रॉपर मोबाइल लिया तो चार्जिंग नहीं, चप्पल नहीं, कुछ नहीं, ऐसे ही भाग के आ गए हम लोग।
With several lives lost, questions over fire safety in Mumbai high-rises are once again being asked. Perhaps the need for an honest fire audit across Mumbai can be no longer brushed under the carpet. With Radhika in Mumbai, Bureau Report, Times Now.
You're watching the Newshour Special Edition, Debate Number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let me quickly open this up. Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Kishore Tiwari, leader of the Shiv Sena, and Neelam Krishnapurthy, the citizen voice, will be joining us shortly. But Kishore Tiwari, let me begin by asking you, sir, 6 लोगों की जान चली गई है और ये कोई पहला ऐसा हादसा हुआ नहीं है जिसमें फायर सेफ्टी नॉर्म्स वायलेशन सामने आ रहा है।
देखो दुर्घटना हुई है, आग लगी है और ये भी तथ्य बाहर आए हैं कि फायर फाइटिंग इक्विपमेंट चल नहीं रहे थे। मेरे जो वहाँ के गार्डियन मिनिस्टर है अजित ठाकरे जी, इन्होंने जाकर बिल्डिंग का मुआयना भी किया है और हमने राज्य सरकार की तरफ से मदद भी दी है। मैं वो 6 इनोसेंट लोग जिनकी जान चली गई उनके प्रति श्रद्धांजलि देता हूं और मेरे डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर अजीत पवार जी ने इंक्वायरी भी कॉल की है। लेकिन आपकी ये बात से मैं चुस्त दुरुस्त सहमत हूं कि सारे बिल्डिंग के फायर सिस्टम का फायर ऑडिट होना चाहिए। क्या जब भी आग लगती है तो हम तुरंत कहने को आ जाते हैं कि फायर सिस्टम काम नहीं कर रही थी, फायर सिस्टम का ऑडिट होना चाहिए, लेकिन क्या हम वो जान वापस ला सकते? अभी कारण तो वही रहते हैं कि फायर ब्रेक हुआ क्योंकि इलेक्ट्रिकल वायरिंग का शॉर्ट सर्किट था, ये था वो था, लेकिन अकाउंटेबल फायर ऑडिट सिस्टम कब आएगी इस पर पॉलिटिक्स से जाकर बात करनी चाहिए। मैं एक और बात करना चाहता हूं, बाद में संजीव आपको क्या बोलना है बोलना, कि देवेंद्र जी ने एक मुद्दा उठाया जिसकी भी हम इंक्वायरी कर रहे हैं कि जब पेशेंट को लेके गए तो नियर बाय हॉस्पिटल ने एडमिट नहीं किया। ये बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, हम इसकी भी इंक्वायरी कर रहे हैं। अभी सरकार के तौर पे हमने ऑर्डर दिए हैं और बीएमसी को अकाउंटेबल होना पड़ेगा। ये भी बात मैं सरकार की तरफ से कर रहा हूं क्योंकि इनोसेंट लोगों की जान जाने के बाद ही हम सीरियस होते हैं। तो अभी अपने पास समय है कि तारदेव की इस घटना को लेकर हम लोग सीरियस हो जाए और सारे बिल्डिंगों का जो हाई राइजिंग बिल्डिंग है उनका फायर ऑडिट किया जाए और इसके लिए प्रोग्राम।
Mr. Tiwari, I agree, sir. I am glad you've made that point. And before Sanju Verma comes in, I just want to tell you, Mr. Tiwari, that why is it that we only wake up after lives are lost? Sanju Verma?
Okay. You know, किशोर तिवारी जी ने बोला, मैंने उनको बिल्कुल टोका नहीं, उन्होंने अपनी बात बहुत अच्छी तरीके से रखी। I want to just say one thing, you know, first and foremost, I believe the latest death toll is 7 people are dead and 23 injured in a very critical condition. Of course, the heart goes out to those who lost their lives. What happened today was an extremely event which was completely avoidable. You know, Pranesh, I hate to politicize this, but as Kishore Tiwari has rightly said, there needs to be accountability. Now, the fact of the matter is that the Mumbai Guardian Minister is Aslam Sheikh from the Congress Party. The Urban Development Minister is from the Shiv Sena, Mr. Eknath Shinde. The Housing Minister is from the NCP, Mr. Jitendra Awad. Forget everything for the time being. Let's keep politics aside. I just have a few questions. We had we had 10 newborn children dying in Bhandara in January 2021 in a fire incident. In March 2021, we had 9 people dead because of a fire at a mall in Mumbai called the Dreams Mall in Bhandup. There was an oxygen leakage in Nashik where 24 people died in April 2021. I will finish 30 seconds by telling you, again in 2021, there was a fire at a hospital in Virar which was treating COVID patients. 12 people were dead. And as recently as November 2021, Pranesh, there was a fire at an old age home in Bhiwandi in which 62 elderly people were smothered. And in November 2021, there was again a fire at the ICU unit of a government hospital in Ahmednagar, post which Nawab Malik went there and said inquiry बिठाई जाएगी और 15 दिन के अंदर the people who are responsible for this negligent fire in an ICU in a government hospital will be brought to justice. November 2021 से लेके now we are in January and nothing has happened. There has not been a single arrest. Everything has been brushed under the carpet. Why are so many fire incidents happening in Mumbai, Bhandup, Nashik, Pune, Bhandara, Ahmednagar?
Okay, let's get an answer. Let's get a response from Mr. Tiwari and then I'm bringing in Neelam Krishnamurthy.
He is right that Sanju Sharma, that the fires, then we conducted the fire audit of all the hospitals and the system were upgraded, and we are learning apart. But this is the responsibility of the malwala or big residential houses to keep their fire system up to date. Why the annual maintenance was
I'm
not
sorry,
done?
Mr. Kishore Tiwari, sir. I have high regards for you, sir, but you can't be shifting the onus on establishments and housing societies, because what will the BMC or the civic agency then do? And if the civic agency fails, what is the state government doing? And Neelam Krishnamurthy, I want to bring you in. What do we learn from fire tragedies, ma'am? Not just in Maharashtra, but across the country throughout the year. Or we don't learn anything?
It's very ironic. I think we don't learn a thing after the fire incidents. People die. We come and have debates on the television studios. The politicians come and, they come and speak that this has not happened during our time. What had happened during BJP? And the BJP will say vice versa. And the blame game would be there. They'll say we will learn, but nobody learns anything. It's very unfortunate that in a country like ours, it's just not in Maharashtra what Sanju Verma was saying. She was trying to, count the fire tragedies that have taken place in Maharashtra. Why just Maharashtra? Why not the entire country? Do you know how many people lose their lives due to fire tragedies in our country? We people do not take fire safety seriously at all. Fire safety matters, madam. And it should matter for all over the country, not just in Mumbai. And we people don't want to bring in the changes because there is no accountability in our country. There is no justice delivery system in our country. Nobody is ever punished for these kind of incidents. Even if you get the inquiry report, what is going to come out of it? Let me tell you, the inquiry report will only come out the fire started due to a short circuit. And thereafter, there will be some blame game. But no government servant will ever be suspended. No criminal action will be taken. How do you want to bring about a change like this? Not just blaming each other. Please have a system in place. Make sure that we provide for the fire safety measures. The authorities should be accountable. Let them be punished irrespective of which government is there in power. Why do we want to politicize everything? There are human lives which are being lost. And these lives matter. They may be just numbers for the politicians. But unfortunately, for the victims, they are not numbers. They are the loved ones. They are the near and dear ones. Their lives are ruined. Please take fire safety most seriously. When you come for fire, come and see how we can improve. Can we provide, fire safety drill for the residents who are staying there? Or are we going to still politicize it? Can we ensure that all the appliances which are there in the buildings, they are in working order, or they are just there for cosmetic purposes? I think we need to actually think of these serious issues.
I will add.
Absolutely. What the points raised by Neelam Krishnamurthy are not just important. She is someone, Sanju Verma and Mr. Tiwari, as you're aware, voice of 28 families who lost 59 members in the Upar fire tragedy. And she is saying, let's all keep politics aside and learn our lessons so that lives are not lost again. Mr. Tiwari, I'm coming to you. Sanju Verma, please go first. Yes.
Yes. Pranesh, I think Neelam Krishnamurthy made some very pertinent points, and I completely agree with her that the political class is accountable. I simply want to say this. Why is it that repeat fire accidents are happening within Mumbai, supposedly the financial capital of India? And in this case, I just want to say one thing to you, Pranesh, that while the Mumbai mayor, Kishore Tiwari, dismissed it as another accident, you will be surprised to know that Aslam Sheikh, who is the Guardian Minister of Mumbai, he actually admitted to local press that there was lack of fire audit in the building that we are talking about in Tardeo, where this accident supposedly happened. There was lack of oxygen audit for months together. There was no evacuation plan. The building did not even have a fire ladder. If there was a fire ladder, who lost their lives, that could have been avoided. So I think the BMC needs to be held accountable, and currently the BMC commissioner is from the Shiv Sena. So this is not politics. This is
absolutely. We are seeking accountability here. Good points. Mr. Tiwari, lives have been lost. People have died, sir. Will heads roll?
I do agree with Neelam that the system should be put in place. The accountability should also be placed in place. Now, BMC, Sanju has politicized a lot of things. but we do take the responsibility of the thing which is happening, and the time is there for a rectification. No innocent people should be killed like this. In fact, those officers who are not performing their duties should be made accountable. But
sir, you are the system. While I appreciate the things that you are saying, that the system must be held accountable, you are the system. You are part of the party that is in power. And sir, the only way this will change, and you said we have time, we don't have time. Time is running out.
No, we will take action.
We will see, sir, what action is taken, and hopefully action is taken and lessons are learned. We are completely out of time on this. I thank all of you for joining us on debate number 1 on the special edition of the News Hour.